Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show. Tonya.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited that you're here today with me to enjoy this fun show. You know, as I always have, I have a fabulous guest. Miss Dokpe is here with us. Yay! We're going to hear her shortly, and she's got an amazing event she wants to tell you about. I'm personally going, so I can't wait to meet you there. And I want to give you a little insight. So I am Tonya Hofmann. I'm the CEO and founder of the Public Speakers Association. I do a lot of coaching. I've had done multiple books. I've got 3 more books coming out. I have my TV show. I do a lot. And one of the things that people are always asking me is like, how can you get so much done? I mean, I even have kids and dog and cats and husband. And, a lot of people are like, life balance, like life-work balance. And for me, it's all about combining everything together. Making an impact on people's lives every day is what excites me. I want to get up and enjoy life and have fun meeting people like Dokpe and other people that I get to have an incredible time, not just knowing, but developing a long relationship with. That's what it's all about. And I really bring my children into my world. My husband works with me. We're kind of in it all together. And for us, it's very cohesive. Not that it's cohesive all the time, but, for the most part, things kind of gel together. Because for me, you can't separate out work and life. It all intermingles. So why try? So I bring a lot of my life into my work and a lot of my work into my life. It all works together. And I wanted to introduce you today to Dokpe. Now, we've kind of bumped into each other in the past. We quite can't remember exactly when we first met each other, but this is the type of person that I personally love being around and getting to know. And she has an amazing event that we're going to talk a little bit about a little bit. But Dokpe, can you tell us a little bit about you and how you changed your world?
Oh, wow, Tonya. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm definitely feeling very high, for lack of better word, connecting with you this morning. A little bit about my background. I'm originally from Nigeria. I came here several years ago to go to college. And my background is in computer science and mass communication with a master's in public administration. But again, working for the government and working for private enterprises wasn't enough for me. I wanted to do something for myself. Like you said, you cannot separate work and life. I want to enjoy life. I want to live full to my fullest every day. So I decided to go into my own business, and I have a publishing company. I've authored a couple of books, 2 new books coming up in the works. And I want to help people move forward in life. I do some professional coaching and life coaching. I just believe in being around positive energy, great people like you, and just love the synergy that comes from, just connecting to good people. I love that.
How difficult was it to transition from Nigeria to the U.S.?
It wasn't really difficult because I grew up in Lagos, and the climate in Lagos is similar to the climate in Austin. So that was one of the requirements for me. I don't like cold weather. Austin is a perfect place for me. To a lot of good people. Don't get me wrong, initially I miss my family, but I feel like I have a second family here. I have good friends that, people like you, I feel like I've known you forever, like you're my sister, so I don't really miss home, and we are living in a very high-tech world. So Nigeria is just a couple of phone calls away, and, so I'm despite that I was having a lot of fun in Austin, I will always visit. I used to visit once or twice a year until I lost both of my parents. So when I lost both of my parents, my husband and I decided, well, we always go home. So this is the time for us to explore the rest or the different parts of the world. So henceforth, we travel to other parts of the country. But I never really, quote unquote, miss Nigeria because the communication was always was there against Skype. You see people, you don't touch them, but you feel like you are in the room with them. So I never really miss home. I talk to my family, my friends in Nigeria all the time. And again, I have the Austin friends and family that make me feel like, I was born here myself. So.
That's awesome. Was there because I'm always curious because I talk to a lot of my husband's family are from different parts of the world. And one of the things that seems like that always kind of jumps out at people when they come to the U.S. is how much we travel in our cars. Like everything is revolving around car. We even went through, drive-through food, obviously, drive-through pharmacies, drive-through zoos. I mean, it seems like we never get out of our cars.
Well, that is definitely an eye-opener when I came because in Nigeria, most people have what we don't use the word chauffeur, we use the word driver to take you to places. So your parents have car. You never really care to even learn how to drive because you always have a chauffeur, as we know them here in the U.S., take you everywhere. So that was one of the rules that was new to me. When I came here, I had to take the bus because when I knew how to drive, I didn't really know Austin. So it took me some time. And the contrast to that is when you go to London, even when you have car, you don't feel like driving, you ride bus everywhere. So again, it depends on the different parts of the world you are in, but it's definitely, I think initially when I came here, it made me lazy because once I started driving, the pharmacy or the grocery store is probably like 2 minutes from my house. I would still drive there, to get grocery when I could technically walk 10 miles. So again, from the health point of view, I feel like we are losing a lot by having cars. And I know probably New York, I think is similar to the lifestyle in London because, it's more expensive to have a car than don't have a car. So, but anyways, that's an interesting analogy. It's funny that you asked that question, but yes, definitely there's a different perception on that, depending on whether I'm here in Nigeria or in London.
Yes, I know my family, my husband's family from Germany, they were like, why don't you just ride your bike? It's just like, a couple miles. And I'm like, oh, I can't even imagine riding my bike. It's funny, the cultural differences, just getting around. So tell us a little bit about, we always like to give tips and advice to people. Can you give us a couple tips or techniques that you would like to share with everyone so they can go out and change their life?
Well, one of the main things I always try to say is that we are all in control of our life to an extent. I believe in higher power. In my book, I call him God. Okay, but outside of that, you are in total control of your life. While we have no control of what life throws at us, and believe me, life will put you on a roller coaster that you sometimes don't enjoy. But how we react to it and how we choose to end that ride is totally on the palm of our hand. There are no showstoppers in our life. There are people that will tell you can't. But if you believe you can't, you will definitely make it. And I have my stories. And many times, I know all of us have our stories. And if you don't like your story, rewrite it, change it. You have the power within you. There's that person inside of you. Some people call it a small voice. Some people call it a dove. But you have that power within you. Outside of the higher power, when you connect those two, they are probably the most powerful synergy in the world. And you have the power to rewrite your stories. You have the power to change the world if you choose to. That's what I've chosen in my life. One of probably the most challenging experience I faced was after we got married and we tried to have a child. And I had an ectopic pregnancy. And by the way, this is one in my book, Life Lessons, Your Destiny is in Your Own Hands. And I was told at that time by my gynecologist that maybe I was one of those people that was not supposed to have a child. That totally shocked me because I grew up believing in two things. I grew up believing in God and knowing that with God everything is possible. Then I grew up believing in science, knowing that when nothing is proven, it's still a theory. So if my doctor at that time had told me, well, you cannot have a child because you don't have a womb, or you cannot have a child because you are not producing eggs or something, just give me something to hold on to. But to just give me a blank check and said, maybe you're not supposed to have a child because some people don't have children. So I took that as a personal challenge, and I said, it's not all about having a child now. It's just proving that what I know is true. I believe in God, and I know with God everything is possible, and I believe in science, and I know there's always answer to something unless it's a theory that cannot be proven. So that was the most challenging thing in my life, and trust me, that ride was not easy. When I talk about roller coaster, it takes you up and then go to like 20 bumps in 100 miles per hour. And it was, looking back in retrospect, sometimes we go through so much, but it makes us the person we are today. And at the end of the day, after so many years, I have a fabulous, she's 16 years old at middle school, doing high school, 11th grade, doing very well. And I look back in retrospect, if I choose to allow what somebody told me to stop me, or if I choose not to believe in myself, or if I choose to just accept the story as it was written to me by somebody else, then I will not be where I am today. So again, just to encourage everybody, regardless of where you are in life, you have a lot to offer in this world. And if you choose, I dare you today to choose to want to do something. Put your heart into it. Put some efforts behind it, you will definitely make it. Don't allow naysayers in your life. Stay away from negative people, and there are really no showstoppers in your life. At the end of the day, your destiny, your life, your story belongs in your own hands.
Yeah, I know with me, I had cancer, thyroid cancer, back when I was right after I had my first child. And so she was a year and a half old, and they were like, oh, you've had too much radiation, just put away the thoughts of having other children. And so I was like, well, at least I had my first child, I will enjoy her. And I just kind of pushed it away. And then about 7, 8 years later, you have that draw. And I was like, I would really like to have another child. And so I went to the gynecologist, and she was like, I don't see why not. It's been long enough. And I was 36 about at the time. And I was like, oh, I can have another baby. And I was like, poof. I got pregnant so fast. And I was like, okay, I didn't really think this through completely. But sometimes we have no idea when we think something is impossible. You just have to sometimes a point of, creating the momentum around you. And then it's timing a lot of times too.
Yes, yes.
And
absolutely.
I love said too about, my favorite quote, and people have heard me on this show before, life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. So who do you want to create, right?
It's like being on the stage. We are all actors and actresses. If you don't like your role, change it. But you have the power to change that role. You have the power to create yourself. You have the power to create the person you want to be. Like you said, it's all about creating it.
Well, and for me, if you had told me I would be speaking on stage any part of my life, except for maybe probably a few years ago, I would have said you were crazy. There is no way I would be on stage speaking. Why would anyone listen to me? And I look back at my old self, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so many opportunities that I can go out and change somebody's life today. And I really feel that each one of you listening has that, really it's your duty to go out and make someone's life amazing. You know, you start by changing your own so that you can change the world. You start by fixing yourself and what issues you have and understanding how fabulous you are and that you've got to get out there. You've got to make a difference. Don't you think that way?
Absolutely, absolutely. You are preaching to the choir here. That's exactly the way I think. You have to change yourself to help to change other people. And if you, I just don't know any other life I want to live. You can either be positive about your life and just, you know, there are things, don't get me wrong, there are things in this world that will happen to you that probably make you, you know, maybe make you feel sad or fall down for, you know, just to, by the way, and that's okay. That's okay, because sometimes we have no control of the hand that is dealt to us. But at the same time, if you pick yourself up, and decide you want to live, and decide, no, regardless of the situation, I want to create something else for me, then moving forward, wow, you'll be amazed at the life you're going to live. So definitely, and I think when you meet people that have similar energy as you, positive energy, you will connect to them naturally. I don't feel like we could have been born together in Nigeria. That's my, you know, connection to you. So you feel happy around those people, you feel that energy, but at the same time, you could be with some people that you feel like there's a knot in your stomach. So, you know, moving forward in life in terms of the direction you want to go, in terms of the life you want to create for yourself, in terms of bringing positive energy into your life, it is very crucial that you are selective of the people you be around. You need to be around positive people. I'm not, you know, advocating that you don't speak to people you think are negative. You speak to them, but you know where you want to go, and you know that in order for you to get there, you need some positive energy. So move the energy in the direction that you want to go, but move only the positive energy to move or to go in that direction with you.
Well, and you know, that's why I started realizing that every single one of you can make your own rules for your life. Did you know you can make your own rules? You know, I started in '07 saying, okay, I've got 2 rules. One of them is people have to be nice. No mean, grumpy, negative people allowed. Absolutely not. And then the other one is about being imperfect. We can't continue to strive to be this perfect person. There's no such thing. We're all human. So quit expecting people to be this idyllic, whatever this image you're supposed to be. You know, really enjoy the imperfections, because that's what makes us unique, and kind of embrace what makes you unique in your own self, no matter, you know, how imperfect that part of you is. It's just who you are.
My uniqueness for me is just being myself. There's no two Tonya, there's no two Dokpe in this world. So if you can maintain your uniqueness, it will bring out the best in you. It will bring out the joy in you. It will bring out, you know, I don't want to be a carbon copy or a caricature of somebody else. So focus on your uniqueness and using what you have to make things happen for you. It's probably one of the most fulfilling things also. And I know with my background, a degree in computer science, I was a computer programmer. I didn't like it. It was a very boring career for me. I'm a talkative. I love to talk. I love to laugh. I love to, you know, to be excited. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of money in that field, and I decided I wanted to do something more. I needed to be around people that talk more. Even though I have another degree in mass communication, but because there was more opportunity in computer science, I went into computer science. So then I decided, okay, that is not working for me. I'm not getting any fulfillment. Sometimes you make money, but you are not necessarily happy with what you are doing. The main key is to find something that you will love to do, even if you don't get paid, and you will enjoy doing it. And when you find that particular thing, the money will come. The money will eventually follow. So I decided, well, I don't want to do that. Then decided to go back to graduate school and do my master's in public administration. And then after a while, I felt like what I really want to do is there's so much negativity out there. There's so much people that are dragged down that don't have anybody to pull them up. And there's so many people that don't have somebody. Sometimes there are people that have great ideas, or they want to move forward in life, but they need a lot of encouragement, and you don't have enough people out there encouraging them. This is where, whether doing professional coaching, executive coaching, or doing personal coaching, this is where that comes in. So just giving that word of encouragement, or partnering with that person to move forward in the direction they want to go, I felt like that was most fulfilling to me. So when I published my book, Life Lessons, Your Destiny is in Your Own Hands, one of the workshops I did, some of the attendants approached me and said, wow, you really made a difference in our life just during this workshop. Why don't you, become a professional or life coach? So this is where my coaching career started from. And then I decided to go to UT Dallas to put some credentials behind my coaching career, to do a 1-year full executive certification in professional and executive coaching. So that has been most fulfilling to me. But again, you have to know what you want. Go after what you want. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily translate into money. And I know, Tonya, you probably know about this starting up initially, but eventually it's going to get to where you want it to be.
Love it. And I know you put on a huge event every year in Austin, Texas, and I'm excited to be your keynote speaker for the 2015 event. Yay! And so I'm super excited about that. Tell us a little bit of, what's the event about? Why should people come? When is it? All that kind of good stuff.
Well, that is totally fabulous. It's a totally fabulous event. I am so excited. You're going to be the 2015 speaker. And the event started 5 years ago. And what I thought about, or the whole ideology behind the event, is there's so much going on in the world. If you listen to the news, 90% of the time it's nothing. You are bombarded with negativity or negative. Unfortunately, it is what it is. That is what is happening to the world. It's not like the news anchors made up the story. And I looked at that and I said, well, I need to come up with something positive that happens annually. So it was initially called a motivational gala. And when we started, I felt like, where do I get my people from? So I started thinking of the workforce. I said, well, by January, a lot of people are busy trying to start a new year, coming up with a new year resolution that, if you're like me, the resolution goes down the drain probably in a few months. And then at the end of the year, a lot of people are also sad because they are thinking, well, there's Christmas, it's stressful, I don't have money to spend, I don't have, then they're thinking of the taxes and so many things. I said, well, the ideal time for this event would be probably after Thanksgiving, before Christmas, where you can kind of capture people and give them the opportunity to focus on themselves. When they focus on themselves and take time out for themselves, maybe at that time they can be able to rekindle their blessing, realize some of the mistakes they've made, grow from that mistake. And I just wanted a positive forum, a positive environment for them to do that. At the same time, I like it to be very sophisticated. So I said, well, I'm not just going to do this in any hall. I'd like to do it in a hotel, make it a formal event. I mean, people are very, very dressed up. So that's also an exciting part of it. And we always have two dynamic speakers. We have people from Beverly Shido to the police chief Acevedo, and we've had other names to name it, or others to name a few. And then this year we have Jim Bledsoe. Jim Bledsoe used to be the one of FedEx executive and also the former vice president of Pulte Homes. And then we also have Sheila Rivera. Wow, Sheila Rivera will totally wow you. She was an astronaut that turned comedian. So go figure, that's very interesting. Super professional, then decided she wanted to make people laugh. And it makes sense because there's so much going on in this world. It's amazing how a little bit of laughter in your life can change your world. So I'm very, very excited about the event. Also, when I started the event, I also wanted to use the forum as an opportunity to give back to the community. So what we do every year is adopt a nonprofit organization. And this year, our nonprofit organization is Zonta. Zonta empower women all over the world. And what we do is whatever proceeds we get from that event on the event, a percentage is donated to this nonprofit organization. So everyone listening, everyone hearing this, you should be there. That is the event of the year. It totally rocks. I want you to come. And if you decide to register today, okay, so if you register for 2 people, and then you email me that you heard about the event on Tonya Hofmann TV show, you will get an extra free ticket. So if you register for 2 people, and that is only available till the end of today, by 12 midnight, it goes off. But if you register immediately for 2 people, you get 1 ticket free. So, I hope you can come. It's a fabulous event. Wow, the food is fabulous. That's what I mean. People every year when I do my survey, they talk about the speakers, they brag about, how professional the event was. They talk about the people they met, the networking opportunity, and then they brag so much about the food. It is fabulous. We always look at the Holiday Inn Town Lake, and December 6th, 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. We have complimentary wine. It's just an amazing event, and I look forward to see every one of you there.
So how did they find out about the event, and how do they register?
Well, they can register online at the on Eventbrite, and I'm going to put on my glasses here so I can make sure that I don't miss the address. So they can go to Dupsy, as in DUPSY 2014 gala.eventbrite.com. Actually, if you go to Eventbrite and you Google gala, you definitely won't miss it. So the easiest way would be to go to eventbrite.com and then, Google, and do a search for gala. And then my event is one of the 2 galas in December that will come up. So I look forward to seeing you.
Perfect, perfect. And then if they want to just reach out to get connected with you, how do they do that?
Well, you can email me at dupsy@msn.com. You can go to my website at dupsyenterprises.com, or you can call me at 512-990-9508. 512-990-9508. But the best way to reach me is through email at dupsy@msn.com.
That's DUPSY, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. Reach out, get to know Dokpe. She's amazing. Obviously, you will want to get to know her. Thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you. It's really great.
All right, everybody. We will see you next time, and we enjoy having you on. Every show, we have someone fabulous for you to get to know. Great information. So I will see y'all next time. Bye.